Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and today, well, we have this really nice 1963 Topps card of Gino Cimoli. That's how I pronounce it, Gino Cimoli. But what a beautiful color match on that Kansas City Athletic uniform and the yellow and red at the bottom. And man, you want to talk about a sharp 63. So often you'll get fish eyes down in here, or the bottom usually gets a lot of flaking on the border, but man, this card is so sharp. So sharp. Think of all the 1963s that you guys may have, superstars, Hall of Famers, and they are not in this good a shape at all. I have a few 63s of some really nice players, and the cards unfortunately are fairly beat up. But this card is just like, man. Too bad it wasn't a Mickey Mantle in this kind of condition. But yeah, Gino Cimoli from San Francisco. And you can see he broke in there in 56 with the Brooklyn Dodgers. So yeah, let's get into the story behind the cardboard for Gino. Let me lay that card down there. His rookie card is a 1958 Topps. 1957 Topps. And his last card is a 1965. He signed with the Dodgers in 1949, and he played in the minor leagues from 49 to 55. And he played in AAA from 52 to 55. So he was in the the highest minor league from 52 to 55, and he hit over 300 each of those years. So he had a really, a real successful minor league career. He made his major league debut April 19th of 56. He didn't play a whole lot for Brooklyn. 1957 was his first full year, and he played in 142 games and had a really nice average of 293 with 57 RBI. He scored 88 runs, and he had 10 home runs. So had a really successful year. So successful, as a matter of fact, he was named to the All-Star team in 1957. Now, what's really interesting is he was the last player to score a run at Ebbets Field in 1957. So he scored the last run at Ebbets Field. And then on April 15th of 1958, he was the very first batter ever on the West Coast as he led off for the Dodgers against the Giants, the very first MLB game played on the West Coast. So kind of interesting. Gino scored the last run at Ebbets Field, and then he was the leadoff batter in the very first MLB game ever played on the West Coast in San Francisco. He played 108 games in 1958, and he batted .246, so his numbers started to come down. Then he got traded to the Cardinals for the 1959 season. Had a good season, hit .297, 72 RBI. Then he was traded to the Pirates during the 1960 season, and he was really the fourth outfielder for the Pirates, but he played in 101 games. So as a reserve, he was the fourth outfielder, played in 101 games, and he actually started in the 1960 World Series for the Pirates, games 2 through 6, as Bob Skinner had injured himself in Game 1. And Skinner came back for Game 7, but Gino still got to get into Game 7. He got a hit and ended up scoring a run in that decisive Game 7 against New York Yankees. He was traded to the Milwaukee Braves in 1961 mid-season, and then he was selected by the Kansas City Athletics in the expansion draft in 62. Played every game in 62 and 63 for the Kansas City A's, and he led the American League in triples in 1962 with 15. And then he was released mid-season 1964. He got picked up by the Orioles, and then the Angels picked him up in 65 when he appeared in his final MLB game on May 7th of 1965. So Gino had a pretty good career. He had a .265 average over 10 seasons, 808 hits with 47 home runs. Now, this is what's so interesting. You want to talk about a different day and age. Here's a guy that had a 10 years in the MLB, plus, 6 years in the minor leagues. And after baseball, he was a delivery driver for UPS. That's right. He wore the brown uniform, was a delivery driver for UPS. He was actually awarded an award for having no accidents after 21 years driving for UPS. I mean, nowadays guys retire after 10 years in the MLB and they're multi-millionaires. Here's Gino as driving for UPS for 21 years with no accidents. And it was said he had a 25-year career with UPS. I don't know that for sure, but that's what they say. Now, really interesting, I don't have the card and I don't have an image to show you, but on the 1958 Topps, Gino Cimoli's card, it looked just like this one here. This is D. Fondy with the Cincinnati Reds. And same color, it had a yellow background, Gino's 1958 card. But for whatever reason, his hands are just like that, but there's no bat because they painted out the bat. So on Gino's 1958 card, he's standing there in a batting stance with his hands exactly like D's are, holding a bat, but the bat is not there. It's painted out. It's yellow. And it's just kind of one of those anomalies on why would they have done that in the 1958 Topps. And I'm going to have to get one because I want to see. It's only a $2 card. I'm just going to find one, but it looks just like this D. Fondy 1958 card. But yeah, that's the story on Gino Cimoli. Had a really successful career, and then ended up having a successful career as a UPS driver. And again, if you're a set collector, his rookie card was 1957, and he had cards all the way up through 1965. So you're going to find them in about 8 or 9 of the top sets. But that's the story on Gino Cimoli, and quite an interesting story behind the cardboard. Had a really successful career, bounced around a little bit, but man, he was a World Series champ, scored the last run at Ebbets Field, first batter ever on a West Coast game. Pretty interesting career for Gino. And guys, that's the story behind the cardboard. I love digging through these stories and finding out information about guys. And he's a common player for us baseball collectors. But Gino had a great career and an interesting life to boot. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a comment. And if you would, subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and keep on collecting. Enjoy the hobby, guys. Take care.